Corey Sherman, the Misfit Agent, founder of Homegrown Real Estate. I call myself the Misfit Agent because I believe that we do things differently. I've been toying around with different taglines. Real estate for real people, real estate for the rest of us. I come from a service industry background, and one of my key things when I started in real estate is I wanted to help people who worked in the service industry buy a house. A lot of these people who don't have a W-2 salary think that homeownership is inaccessible to them, and that's actually not the case. There's a lot of programs that work with non-W-2 employees, self-employed individuals, and so I designed a program to help those people into a house. What I truly believe about real estate and where me and my team excel is I can't think of another business that's more relational than real estate. Real estate is all about connecting people with communities, teaching people about the history of where they're moving, about the bars, about the restaurants, about the businesses that make up these communities. A lot of clients that I get to work with are moving here from out of state. So they don't know what it's like to live in Raleigh or Durham or Chapel Hill or Cary or Apex. They just read about these towns. So when they call me, someone who grew up in Raleigh, who's now lived in Durham for the last 8-9 years, I get to find out what's important to them, and I get to find out what's motivating them. Somebody once told me early on that being a great real estate agent is being an expert at knowing experts. And what that means is you got to have a good home inspector. You got to have a number of lenders that specialize in different mortgage products to appeal to different people. You have to know a good general contractor, a plumber, an electrician, a real estate attorney is one of the best parts of my job, because people come to me and they want to know how to buy a house, and they're like, well, I don't know a real estate attorney, I don't know a home inspector. Me and my team, we've developed these relationships over the last 7-8 years to where if we need to get a home inspector, I can call or text my home inspector any day, anytime, and he's going to get back to me. Same with my lenders. I like to keep a few different vendors in each one of those spots because different people might jive with, a different lender, and I like to give people options. It doesn't matter. If you're buying a house or selling a house, you have a big reason to do it. Maybe your kids have grown and they've all gone to college and you're downsizing and you're moving on to the next phase of your life. Or maybe you're just starting a family and you want to buy a house because you want to lock in your living expenses. Or maybe you're just moving to the area and you want to start your real estate journey. You want to start building wealth through real estate, and you're looking at buying a home and it's an investment, and you're planning on buying another house in another year. Regardless of the reason, it's always because there's a big change happening in somebody's life. And the fact that me and my team get to meet these people where they're at, and I like to think of myself as a guide, and guide them on their journey through this process, it is such a privilege. A big part of the reason that I moved back was to be close to family, because my dad passed away in 2012. And this note is one of my cherished tokens that my dad left behind for me. And like I said before, when I graduated from college, I was trying to get the hell out of North Carolina. And for me, that took shape in a bike trip. And I flew to Edinburgh, Scotland with my bike, me and my cousin. We flew to Edinburgh, Scotland, and I had a goal of riding across all of Europe to Istanbul, Turkey. And it was a big, scary, audacious goal that I had. I worked my ass off all summer up in Boone at 2 restaurants to save money for this trip. We were camping the whole way, just going from city to city on our bikes. It was amazing. My dad, he wasn't that big of a traveler. He was kind of a homebody. And even though he didn't really understand my need to go on this trip and sort of find myself and just get out of the familiar, he supported me, and he supported the decision wholeheartedly. Never tried to talk me out of it. After I packed my bag and I packed my bike up and I landed in Scotland and I unpacked everything, I found this note that he had slipped in my bag on top. And it just, it really means a lot to me. It says, "I love you, son. Be smart, be safe, be content, have a wonderful find." And be smart, be safe, be content, have a wonderful find has sort of been, that's the way I sign off my emails, and that's the way I sign off my newsletter right now, because my dad was a man of few words, but the words that he used them with purpose. We've organized a bike ride called the Jeff Sherman Memorial Bike Ride. We start in downtown Durham. we go 16 miles down the American Tobacco Trail, and then we turn around and we do 16 miles back, and we end the bike ride at Highwire. Through the Jeff Sherman Memorial Bike Ride, we collect donations on behalf of an organization called Christ Saves Hearts. One of their big tenets is raising money to purchase defibrillators to put in public schools that don't have the money to buy them. The other thing that Homegrown Real Estate does is we offer to rebate 10% of our commission back to public school teachers and nurses. My team across the board will rebate 10% of our commission to go back to help nurses and public school teachers pay for their closing costs.